Today would be a beautiful day for a garden tour, so I start at my front door. There's a little wreath I made, everything from the garden. These are crocus. They've just finished blooming willow. I'm going to plant those in the yard later as a windbreaker. And then rock garden. Mongo, hello. Say hello, YouTube. This is my escort. He will escort me all around the yard and protect me from birds and things. So I guess I'll start over here. Not quite sure what this one is, but we got a couple of them around. They're everywhere. These are pretty showy. One of the first things to bloom in the spring with all the onion plants. We've got some of these little wildflowers here. They're in my garden and they grow everywhere. This one's already past its prime. It looked better earlier in the spring. I think they're called wedding bonnets or something. This is like an azalea. Just like I bet you guys would know better than I do. Lilacs. They are on the way. And I got a couple different types. There's a white French lilac, there's purple lilac, and we've got it in a couple places in the yard. Over here, towards those windmills, is very open. So I was thinking maybe planting an alternating row of lilac and marigolds or something. I got 3 tiny little trees that look very pitiful. There's some type of a California cypress. I saw one growing on Wikipedia on like a rock on a cliff. And since we're pretty exposed, I thought perhaps they should do well. All of these are hawthorn. They go around the perimeter of our property. And then there's a second row of trees for wood. This is our little compost bin. I know it's not the prettiest, but I am very proud of it. Nils and I did a wonderful job, I think. So I think the plan is this is last year's trash. We're going to let that break down. We'll put trash in this one. Or, food waste and coffee and eggshells, of course, and any yard waste. So we'll be filling this one this year, filling that one next year, using that one next year. That one will break down. Here's a little rhubarb. I am very happy about my rhubarbs. Every single one seemed to make it. Mongo, get out of there. You're not being a very good escort. He's tearing things up. And I do believe these are actually edible. The new shoots off the hawthorn tree. But later on they won't be. Just the new sprouts. I've been looking for my hostas. I have hostas planted all along here in between this row of trees. No sign of them yet. Here's some old flowers from last year, so I know I'm looking in the right spot. I guess they'll be coming along when they're ready. And I thought it'd be funny and plant some rocks in the trees. I need to get some more. I mean, it's a flat spot. Why not take advantage of it? I sawed them a little flatter so they would sit nicely. And these pop up everywhere. I know I say the name wrong. They're called grape hyacinth. Oh, look, there it is. Oh my gosh. Here is the first shoot of our hostas. And I do believe these are edible like asparagus. I've heard it. I've never tried it. And so now that they're starting to pop up, maybe I'll try them. Yay, first sign of a hot. Oh, look. Okay. Now that I'm starting to see them, I do see they are everywhere. Wonderful. That'll be nice. Okay. I was getting a little worried thinking they might not come back. This is Hildeblomst in Danish. English, it's elder flowers. I love to use the flowers to make a cordial or a saft. It's kind of like you could mix it with bubble water and you have your own soda, homemade soda. We quit drinking Coca-Cola long ago. Everyone knows it's not good for you. And up that way is a bird sanctuary. This is Limfjord you're looking at. The island is Livu. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Here's some of our willow. We planted a whole bunch of willow sticks. I rooted them last summer and we put them in the ground. And they are just now starting to come back to life. Hopefully someday they will make us a beautiful wind blockage. Not quite sure what to do with these logs. They are pretty, so I keep them around. I'm really kind of looking into like burying them in the ground and making it some hugelculture. If I'm saying that right, I don't know. This is in bloom. I'm not sure what this one is. I do not think it's a hawthorn though. Actually, everything's in bloom. If you look back the way I came, all those trees have little blossoms on them. It almost looks like white flowers. There's my escort. He's making sure the path is clear behind me. But yeah, you could see from looking at this guy, he's a little wind torn. And I have these little bits of material on them, so I know not to mow them down. It helps me recognize my tree lines. I planted a second one on this way, so I'm kind of thinking it'd be cool to like make an arched pathway with the willow eventually. So I got a row on the left and a row to the right. These trees were chopped down when we got here with a lot of wood underground. I have found a mushroom farm up at the other end of the garden. Hopefully we can make it over there in the same video. I'll take you through all the pathways. And here's what we're using as a greenhouse for now. There's a passion flower in there, rose bush outside, and some bamboo I don't know what to do with. And so here's a pathway that did not exist when we got here. So I want to do a permaculture. I don't know if you can tell, but there is a lot of grass to mow on this property. It takes me 6 hours. And you can only see half the yard from here. There's another half on the other side of the house. Are you inspecting for critters? Anyway, so here's a big willow, probably one of the biggest ones on our yard. It'll be a great mother plant, but we've actually tried not to take willow from our own yard. We've been going around the neighborhood and getting different trees, so hopefully we'll have some biodiversity going on. This tree was here when we came. It was looking very bad. The tie was too tight, so I loosened it and re-staked it. But I mean, it's still alive. It looks a lot happier since we pulled the grass out. It looks like I'm going to have to dig out the mulch and pull the grass again. This came from our other side of the woods. When we were making pathways, we moved some trees out of the way and just planted them in this row. So the ones that didn't make it, we'll pull those and put our fruit trees in their place. So here's another rhubarb. I am so happy that they all made it. It's just wonderful. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to go through I guess I'll go down this path and up the next one. These are prickleberries or gooseberries, and soulbear, which is black currant, red currant, gooseberries. I mean, these are just some sticks that I broke off, or nails cut, and I put them in a bucket with some water with some of the willows, They made roots, they survived the winter, we planted them this spring, and they are looking amazing. I don't know if you could see all the bugs on the ground around them, but we've got butterflies and all sorts of little fairies pollinating for nothing. There's another rhubarb. And I've got a couple different types actually. We brought, like, I didn't know what it was, and we had it in our yard at our old house. And then we moved here, and I tried some, and I'm like, we need to go back to our old house and get some. This I haven't mulched yet, but I'm thinking I might move it because it is kind of close to these trees, and it does like full sun. And these two guys were here when we moved in. I'm not quite sure what they are, but they do look pretty in the springtime. When the leaves start coming out, it's almost like a flower. There's another mystery tree. Maybe when it does get some leaves, I could use plant ID to see what it is. And walking along the path, we've got a peach. It's still a youngin'. They flowered last year, but they did not produce. I mean, it is only like maybe 4 feet tall at max. Here's a different type of rhubarb. This one is like red flesh. Like the other ones, they have red on the outside, but they're green on the inside. These are red all the way through. And they look very, very happy. I was a little worried about planting them raised like this. I didn't know if maybe they wouldn't get enough water, or it's been dry, and they look absolutely fabulous. So, and this is the log I brought home and decorated. My lovely Nils helped me carry it. I know it maybe sounds like a ridiculous idea, but I'm thinking, you know, it would probably make a cool bird perch or something. Here's another peach tree. And these are cherries, but I don't think they're edible cherries. They look beautiful when they bloom. It makes a beautiful canopy of white. Oh yeah, there, now you can see more of the yard and why it takes 6 hours to mow it. Let's continue on. I just got a little battery notice. I might have to do this video in a couple parts. So, some new pathways. There's some more lilacs. They're great for making syrup. They smell beautiful. I love bringing them in the house. You could dry the flowers. There's just so much you could do with them. And so now we're kind of into the woods a little bit. There's a tree line. Oh yeah, there's a couple big apple trees. I don't know if they're healthy. They're covered in mold. They produce apples. A lot of them fell in the middle of the summer when it got windy. I guess it's called June drop. And someone suggested we cut off the tops. What do y'all think? Should we cut off the tops so we get new growth? Good idea or bad idea? And this is a little new pathway we're starting to make. We thought it'd be fun to make trails through the woods. All these, I don't even know what to do with them. They're kind of like blackberries. They got thorns, they look like blackberries, but I don't really think they produce much. Maybe they're called bumbles. And this one, you see the bigger one? It actually made blackberries. It makes some nice big juicy blackberries. It's obviously a different type or species from all these, but that one big one is pretty good. And so I'll show you more of this pathway. Maybe we can get to the other side of the yard. Made a little view spot along the pathway. It's got a nice little view. another view spot. We were thinking about building like a little half wall here so we could put a little table and chairs and just enjoy the view. Down there, that's Lendel Rongbjörn. There's a little exit. Let's show off the new trees. I want to plant them in this row, but Niels is a little worried about the wind. So, here's my lettuce, or I like to call them salad bowls. They self-seeded and stayed small throughout the winter, but since it's warmed up, they've totally sprouted and taken off. Here's some mint. Hello, Gammy, my sister-in-law. And pine trees. I'm hoping that will be my future wind barrier. We need a whole lot more, like hundreds more. And then the new ones. We got some blueberries. It's a wedding gift from Nils's mom. And grapes. All my neighbors have, or at least two of them have vineyards and they're growing grapes, so I'm like, why can't I? I'll try. This one with these beautiful little pink flowers is a flat peach. And then cherries. I absolutely love cherries. I picked them off neighbors' trees, ate them. They are delicious. So much better than anything you buy at the store. Concord pear. So this would be a total of 3 pear trees. This is a family tree. It's an apple tree and it's got 5 types of apples on it. I don't have the tag on it, but you could see it's spliced. Each branch is a different type of apple. I'm kind of hoping it will stay low and so therefore tell it, oh, we have baby apples. I am so excited. This one, excuse me, Mongo, is a plum. So we got a few types to try with. This is a project. I put a whole bunch of hazelnuts in here. I keep watering it down. I'm hoping maybe some of them will pop up. I left them outside over the winter so they could winterize and hopefully be cold. Here's another garden weed. I think those little flowers in the pots are forget-me-nots, dandelion, some sort of a grass thing with pretty flowers. It was already here, so I don't know what it is. Yeah, here's the pot that they came in. Here's our welcome worm. And this apple, I think the birds have been trying to eat it. I know it looks really weird, but I can't figure out what else it would be. This is one of our first gardening projects. Nils and I put this together and it looks absolutely fabulous. I think it's a little lower than it used to be. But everything looks really happy and that makes me happy. I know these aren't the prettiest archways, but they will do. They have held up to the wind. They will hold our peas in the summer. And we have 3 blueberries on the left. I know this plant looks horrible, but it bloomed all throughout the winter, so maybe it's a winter plant. I think they bloom in the winter. They do still have some flowers on them, and they're very pretty. And there's another one. And these are my strawberries. Looks like I missed a rhubarb because they're still in there. I'm going to hopefully plant these out. Some of them have made it into the ground, so they're just growing wild now. I guess I should have cut them before the winter. I didn't realize that they would just die. Yeah, here's some wildflowers and more highness. They're really cool plants. They're very pretty. Look at this one. They're definitely an early spring flower. And I won't see them again until next spring. Last year I grew tomatoes here. There's a random willow tree that I just haven't replanted. It should go into our yard. Garlic, 5% battery. We have garlic and chives. Let's see if I can run to the other side of the garden. And of course daffodils are popping up. We have some different colors, but they grow wild here. It's amazing. It's a troll tree. It looks pretty sad, but we're trying to take care of it. Oh, this is cool. Maybe these are growing wild too. Holly. And these have, oh man, the butterflies go nuts for whatever these trees are. Some more lilacs. Some Christmas type trees. I actually did decorate this one for Christmas as a Christmas tree. And some more pretty flowers that look amazing in the summertime. Oh, it smells beautiful over here. Here's some gorgeous wildflowers. I saw them last year too. A little raspberry, rhubarb, blue potatoes, red potatoes, red and white onions. I'm hoping this tree with the white flowers are marigolds. I'm pretty sure they did not bloom last year. I do believe that might be the French lilac. It stayed white. And it blooms a little sooner than the purple one. These have beautiful white flowers. They're called snowdrops, I believe. Some more pretty wildflowers blooming. And I'll take you onto our older trail. This is the first one we made. We lined it with beach rocks. And just used wood as a kind of base for it. All the little sticks that fall down, I just break them up and stomp them into the ground. Here's some more blueberries. They are all covered in flowers. I mean, they're little green flowers, but I still think they're quite beautiful. Our pathway goes around, but I would like to try to get back up to the house in this video. What all these are, but they do make good windbreakers. I think some of them are dead. I might have to go through and pull it out to mulch for my pathway. Oh yeah, violas. They were here last week. I had violets everywhere on the ground. Maybe they're getting past their time too. There's a few of them. I found out those are edible, and so I've been eating. Oh, and the mushrooms. I forgot. There's a few, they were better in the spring. They kind of seem hard and dried out now. You buy these at the store. What is the name of those? Maybe I'll come back to it. But they are edible mushrooms. few more that were growing out of this stump. And there's a bunch of dead wood stumps. I am happy we just kept them around. I mean, they're good for the birds and insects. You could see, oh, here's our big gooseberry patch. I don't even know if I could get far enough away to show it. All those are gooseberries. Here I'm walking into more soulberries or black currants. The flowers are just amazing. There's flowers everywhere. Just gotta stop and look at them. I think even the hawthorn trees have flowers, or will have flowers. The gooseberries, little baby gooseberries on here. These are thorny plants, though. They would make a good perimeter bush. Some more of these mystery plants back onto our trail. The trail gets a little tight here because I didn't want to cut down this tree. I like it, so I just walk right through it. And a little emergency exit in case I gotta go back to the yard halfway down the trail. Oh, I forgot to show you the other view spot. Oh well. This is the end of the trail. Here's some more trees. All these are the same type that have the mushroom. I'd like to learn how to inoculate them with spores, or we'll see what happens. Oh, some of them are still alive, only the dead ones. We don't want mushrooms growing on live ones that can. There's a lot more violas and stinging nettles. I'm going to start trying to eat those. Oh, look at this. Hello, happy bee. See you later, bye. He said he's got work to do. He had no time to chat with me. That's okay. We'll get an interview with him later. Oh, and here's another. These will have yellow flowers all over them. I'm not quite sure what they are. They have green and white leaves. If anybody knows, I'd love to hear your opinion. But they're growing everywhere. More wildflowers. I don't know if they have any use, but hopefully they do. The critters seem to like them, so they stay. And more of these, I think these are snowberry bushes. They've been everywhere. A couple more hawthorns and crab apples, maybe. See, there's some are green, and then there's a couple that are red. So these are obviously a different type of plant. These were also here. And we've made it back around. I think these hedges were planted as windbreakers, but they're horrible. They're naked all winter. They're just now starting to get some blooms. I really think they should go. Or maybe I could relocate them to the edge of the property. But I think something here should be more like for things I would use in the kitchen, food garden. I want to make this immediate area a kitchen garden, literally. Should be my zone 1, right? And if you look in my windows, I don't know if we could see, I have many plants that are just waiting to come out. Here's some peppers. I have like a tropical rainforest of tomatoes and more tomatoes and peppers. They are way too big for their pots. Oh well. Well, battery's dead. This has been a 30-minute video. I've never tried to upload something so big, so... Oh wait, there's one more really important thing I would love to share. So, I bought... Oh, hello!